Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if it's your first time here, hi, how are you? My name's Haley. I am a mom of a 2-year-old little girl and then another little girl on the way. I am currently 30 weeks pregnant and feeling every bit of it. But today, if you cannot tell, my house is a disaster. My 2-year-old is sick. I have no idea what's wrong with her. She's had like a stuffy nose for a couple of days and a cough, and then yesterday she like projectile vomited everywhere about 8 times, and then again this morning, and then now she's moved on to just like diarrhea. Sorry for the TMI, but like that's life right now. So I had to stay home from work today to take care of her. We just didn't want her to go. She's not running a fever or anything, but we're not gonna send her to daycare when she's not feeling good. So I stayed home from work. It's about 2 o'clock now, and she just fell asleep on the couch, which my daughter does not just fall asleep randomly on the couch. Like, you have to do her routine and put her in her bed, and then she'll go to sleep. So for her to fall asleep on the couch, I know she is super just like out of it and not herself. Anyway, because she's asleep and I have about a good 2 to 3 hours, I'm gonna do a quick clean and disinfect. I am obviously gonna like clean the house, but I also wanna disinfect as much as I can. Laundry wise, I'm gonna get a bunch of laundry done. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a quick clean with me, be productive on this day off, which wasn't, I wasn't supposed to have a day off, but I may as well be productive whenever I have to take off work. And so yeah, stick around and hopefully I can give you some motivation to clean your house. It's flu season, so it's definitely a top priority to keep everything as clean as possible and disinfect everything. So I'll show you what products I use, and then you can just enjoy me cleaning while you probably just sit and watch this. Let's get into it. I'm gonna first go ahead and show you what my house looks like right now. It is a complete disaster. Obviously, we've been home all day. I've been trying to entertain a 2-year-old, so things are just thrown everywhere. I've got sheets and towels and blankets all over the couch to catch up any mess that there may have been. There wasn't any today, but there was last night. So I've got to get all of that cleaned up and disinfected. And then of course there's just stuff all over the counters. Dirty dishes in the sink, dirty dishes in the dishwasher. That needs to be redone. Gonna let out the booze so that he doesn't follow me around and make me take even longer cleaning. So getting everything put up, cleaned up, disinfected, and getting my floors clean is going to be my top priority. First thing I'm going to do is start some laundry. I've got some towels and things from the night before that need to be washed, so I'm going to put it all in the washer, put it on hot to try to kill any germs that there are. Get that started because I have about 4 loads that need to be done, and then that way that can be going while I do the rest of the house. I already had some laundry going. This was from the day before, so I'm just taking it out, going to put it in the basket, and I'll fold it later whenever I'm done cleaning everything else. Next thing I'm going to do is just dry off some of the dishes that were in the dishwasher. Our dishwasher, I feel like, runs on the daily, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. I don't know why. Probably because I'm too lazy to actually wash the dishes. But I'm going to empty it all out, put the dishes in, and then put new dirty dishes in the dishwasher. My next project will definitely be to organize our drawers and our cabinets for the kitchen because they're just all over the place and a hot mess. I decided to put the dish drainer that we have sitting next to our sink in the dishwasher as well because it was disgusting and it needed to be washed. So I threw that in there to get it clean while I clean the rest of the house. I'm going to go ahead and clean our sink because there were dirty dishes in it and it was pretty gross. If you have any tips on cleaning a stainless steel sink, please let me know because they are the worst and they are so hard to get clean. At this point I noticed that our dish drainer stoppers were gross, so I threw them in the dishwasher too to get them clean. Why not? They'd been sitting there for a while and hadn't gotten a good cleaning. ahead and use 409 on our surfaces. It kills germs, and I just wanted to get all of the germs gone and out of my house. I've said this before in other cleaning videos, but I'm not the biggest fan of Mrs. Meyer's, only for the simple fact that I feel like it doesn't disinfect as good as other cleaners do. I will use it every now and then on my table for like daily use, and I'll use it to freshen the room or the fabric, but for really good disinfecting cleaning, I'm not playing around, and I'm going to use some chemical cleaners. I'm also going to wipe down all of the appliances on the counter just to get them good and clean. I'm going to throw this tray from the coffee maker into the dishwasher as well because it was getting gross. Move the appliances so that I can get the crumbs that like to hide behind them, and sweep them off and get that clean too. Next thing I'm going to tackle is the humidifier. Let me know if you have any other options for keeping your toddler's room moist whenever they're sick, because humidifiers are gross. They get so disgusting. This filter was brand new and I feel like it's already dirty, so I threw it away and got a new one. I wash this thing out at least every other use. I don't know if there's any other option or there's any better option. If you have one, please let me know. And the next task is the microwave. My husband uses this multiple times a day. It's how he cooks all of his meals. If you don't know already, he cooks most of his meals by himself. Actually, all of his meals by himself. He eats separately than we do, but he cooks them all in the microwave, so it just gets gross. The handle, the buttons, everything gets gross. So I'm really giving this a good scrub down because it's been a while since that's happened, and it just needed it. If you pay close attention while I am cleaning it, you'll see all of the lovely crumbs that fall onto the top of our glass stove. So that's great. It's then time to clean off the glass stove. I use this cooktop cleaner. I don't know if it's the best, but I can't ever seem to get our glass stove as clean as I want it to. So if you have recommendations for that, please throw them my way. I would love to hear how y'all clean your glass stoves. I absolutely hate glass cooktops and wish we didn't have one, but it's what we're dealing with right now. I'm going to use the 409 stone and steel cleaner on the front of the oven. This doesn't get cleaned that often, so this was so satisfying to get all of the little toddler thumbprints off, toddler fingerprints and smudges, and food that inevitably gets all over the oven. I really enjoyed cleaning the front of it. I need to clean the inside of the oven, but that is a whole nother video in itself. I do, for the most part, use this microfiber cloth to clean everything. I have about 5 or 6 of them, and I just rotate them out whenever I notice they start to get too dirty, or if I move from one room to the other. So I won't clean the bathroom with the same microfiber cloth that I would clean the kitchen, or clean the living room with the same one I would clean in the kitchen. Going to go ahead and start the dishwasher since I think I have everything I need in there. I'm going to wash it on heavy load and high temperature. I push heat dry, but our heat dry does not work, so I don't know what's up with that. Now it's time to vacuum. All of the crumbs that were on the counter, I just swept them to the floor because I was going to vacuum it. I was going to vacuum afterwards anyway, so I'm just vacuuming all of it before I mop it. course, my vacuum isn't going to get underneath or in between the things like I need it to, so I pull out the handle and get the crumbs that I couldn't reach with the actual vacuum, go between the cabinet and the refrigerator, underneath the stove and the dishwasher, and right up against the cabinets where my vacuum can't reach. We do not have a very large house, but I can tell you that vacuuming and mopping at 30 weeks is extremely exhausting, and I was definitely feeling it by this point. And I'm just going to put the chairs up on the table so they're ready and out of the way for me to mop. To mop, I just use this mop bucket and a regular O-Cedar mop from I think it was from Walmart or H-E-B, one of the two, and then I just use the Mr. Clean pet cleaner. I change my mopping solution whenever I run out of the next, and this is just the one that I bought the last time. It's not my favorite, so I would not recommend it. I've definitely tried better. It doesn't smell that good, and it doesn't bubble up as much as I would like it to. It doesn't get as soapy as other solutions, but it works for what I need it to do at least. I've tried mopping with the Swiffer Wet Jet and the Swiffer pads, and I just feel like they are so wasteful and not necessary, and I go through so many of them. Using this mop and just the mop water is so much more efficient. I can change the mop water whenever it gets too dirty, and I can change the mop head whenever it gets too dirty. I have about 3 of these mop heads, so I just change them out when they get gross. And then I can just throw them in the washer when I'm done, and then they're brand new the next time I need them. At this point, I have definitely broken a sweat and I am losing my breath for sure. I really contemplated stopping at this point, but then I took a look at my living room and realized that there's no way that I could stop, and I just needed to push through and finish, and then I could rest for the next hour or so while Gray napped.
Don't stop.
She did eat her lunch at this table over here, and she ended up getting noodles and yogurt all over the table and the chairs and the wall. So that's what I'm cleaning up here with the paper towel. I'll use the paper towels whenever there's food or something that I can't just wash right out of the microfiber towel right away. So just spraying all that down, disinfecting it because she likes to eat at this little table, getting it nice and clean for her to mess up later on when she wakes up. Then I'm gonna go ahead and pick up all of her toys and put them where they usually go. She is sleeping in her room, so I ended up just taking a lot of the toys and putting them in the hallway outside of her room, so when she does wake up, I can just slip them in there, but I'm not going to wake her up and ruin my cleaning time just to put things up. So I just set them right outside her room until I can put them up later. Then it's time to tackle the couch, which is covered in sheets and blankets and pillows and towels that need to be washed. So I'm just going to pick all of those up, set them aside because the laundry isn't done yet, and I will wash those in hot water when the laundry is done. One thing I did but forgot to show was disinfect all of our electronics, so our remotes and her tablet and my phone, just with some Clorox wipes that I had. I did wipe them all down, I just forgot to show it. Then I'm going to vacuum our living room area. Start with the rug and then I'll switch and vacuum the tile. Our vacuum has a setting where you can vacuum with the bristles for the carpet, and then you can switch it where the bristles turn off and you can do the hard floor. So that's just what I'm going to do right now. Finally done vacuuming, so I'm going to put it up and I'm going to take the vacuum container with all of the gross dog hair and other fun stuff out to the trash and get it emptied. Then it's time to mop this side of the house, which I did a pretty poor job on it, but honestly I was so tired and exhausted I just wanted it to be over with, and this side of the house wasn't as dirty as the kitchen, so it didn't need it as bad. I just kind of did a quick mop, got most of it cleaned up that I needed to, and then moved on with my life. I did spot clean the carpet because Gray did throw up on the carpet in this area right here. I cleaned up most of it, but all of it didn't come out, so I just used this Resolve to spot clean it. It worked okay. I just really need to probably call somebody in to get our rug fully cleaned at some point. I let those spots sit for a little bit and then I scrubbed them with this bristle brush that I have as hard as I can in all directions to try to get the stain out. I'll let it dry and then I'll vacuum those pieces later on in the day. The next thing that I'm going to do that I don't do often at all is wipe down all of our doors. They get gross just from our hands touching them, but I also wanted to disinfect them because we open and close them all the time. Gray touches them all the time. So just wanted to make sure that those areas that don't get touched very often by cleaners, but by us, got disinfected and ready to go. Once everything is clean and thrown away, I'll go ahead and take the trash out so I don't have to smell it anymore. I will also wipe down the outside of the trash can because inevitably it gets gross and disgusting, at least ours does. This is the last thing I'm going to wipe down, so I am using that microfiber cloth, but then I'll throw it in the washer whenever I am finished wiping down the trash. Now, my favorite part of any list is to check things off, so I'm going to go ahead and mark off the things that I have done. I didn't do everything on my list, but I knew I wasn't going to anyway. I didn't get to her bathroom, and I honestly did not do that this day. I did it the next day, but I did most of what I needed and a little bit more than I put on my list, so I think I'm good.
Stop.
The very last thing I need to do is to fold the load of laundry that I pulled out at the beginning of this video. So I'm just going to sit down with my ice cold water, enjoy some TV, and fold Graylin's clothes. I'm going to put the clothes in her basket and set the basket right outside her door because she is still sleeping and I don't want to wake her up. I'll put them up whenever she does wake up though. And here's the finished project. Sorry for the wobbliness. I was way off balance and so tired after doing all of this cleaning, but it looks so good, and I have to tell you, it smells amazing. Colton walked in from work that day and just continued to praise and tell me how great it looked and how amazing it smelled. I told him not to get used to that type of clean because that wasn't going to happen very often, but it was nice to hear the compliments. So everything in our living space and kitchen are finally disinfected and ready to go. If you enjoy these types of videos, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are not already, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.